Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Let's get to our top stories sponsored by Carnegie Heights. A total of 8 streets in downtown Las Vegas are set to close for over a month. It's all part of a test run for a road project that could top $1 billion. Here's a look at the streets that will be closed off. Review-Journal's James Schaefer has more.
We're at 7th and US 95, which is one of the sites of a partial street closure for the beginning of the Downtown Access Project. From March 8th through April 12th, partial closures and full closures will be in effect for streets that run under the US 95. Nevada Department of Transportation spokesman Tony Ilya told the Review-Journal that there are 3 design alternatives being evaluated, and each of these streets are proposed for possible closure. Overall, the project will expand freeway capacity on US 95 from 8 to 12 lanes. The project's cost, under current information, shows it could exceed $1 billion. And for those wondering when this project will be done, the estimated completion year is 2031. For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm Jim Schaefer.
Thanks, James. County prosecutors will not pursue criminal charges against the 2 Henderson police officers involved in fatally shooting a woman who stabbed her young son. That's according to the Clark County District Attorney's Office. The police officers, Patrick McCarrick and Edward Little, are credited with saving a 6-year-old boy, Winston Brandon, who was stabbed 25 times by his mother back in 2019. Police say the mother, Claudia Nadia Rodriguez, was suicidal and likely experiencing a mental breakdown. For more details, head over to lvrj.com. A local judge is fighting back against the allegations made against her. This is not the first time Justice of the Peace Melanie Tobiasen has made an appeal with the Nevada Supreme Court. She's facing multiple ethics charges alleging that she interfered with a murder investigation. She's filing her own complaint back against the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline, alleging defamation, gender bias, and conspiracy, along with other complaints. In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. The family of the late Tony Hsieh is planning on selling off more of his real estate holdings, this time in a wealthy ski town in Utah, Park City. According to court documents, the Hsieh family plans to sell several homes on Aspen Springs Drive, including a 17,000 square foot mansion that was known as a frequent party spot last year. All properties are being offered on same terms: cash. Closer to home, new data shows that voters in Nevada seem to be optimistic about Las Vegas's economic recovery. That will just take time. As for how much time it will take, depends on who you ask, according to Review-Journal's Rick Vallada.
Some of the Republicans and the Democrats, the liberals and the conservatives have different points of view as to how successful this turnaround is going to be. As some of the early reaction from some of the other observers that have looked at this is that they feel like there's a pretty good balance between optimism and the realities of some of the economic recovery that we're facing.
For more on this story, go to lvrj.com/polls. Now to your weather, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. After a beautiful weekend, we're starting off the week windy with warm temperatures. You can expect the temps to dip down to the 40s later tonight as we get into a cooler Tuesday with more strong winds throughout the day. Looking into the middle of the week, we have a very slight chance of rain as the temps plunge down into the 50s with more clouds and cool breezes coming through. Looks like that small chance of rain, though, will taper off as we move on later into the week. In your health news, sponsored by 4M Dental, love your smile again. The CDC is releasing new guidance that gives fully vaccinated Americans more freedom to socialize and pursue daily activities. Review-Journal's Renee Semmerauer explains. Renee?
Yeah, Jen, the 5-page guidance offers a roadmap of sorts for those who have been vaccinated to resume aspects of daily life that have been on hold for more than a year. The CDC said people who are 2 weeks past their final shot face little risk if they visit with unvaccinated individuals without wearing a mask or distancing. The CDC also said vaccinated people engaging in social activities in public settings should continue to follow all guidance, including wearing a mask, social distancing, and avoiding poorly ventilated spaces. The CDC said fully vaccinated people who have been exposed to someone with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 do not have to vaccine or be tested if they remain without symptoms. But if the exposure takes place in certain crowded settings that increase the risk of spread, they must still quarantine for 14 days and get tested. For more on this story, log on to lvrj.com.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. With a sports update, I'm Cassie Soto. The Raiders have released cornerback LAMARCUS Joyner. Joyner was signed to a 4-year contract in 2018, but struggled during his 2 years with the Silver and Black. The release of Joyner, coupled with the expected release of guards Gabe Jackson and Richie Incognito, leaves the Raiders with $169 million in salary commitments for this season. And in hockey news, Golden Knights captain Mark Stone was named the NHL's first star of the week. Stone led the NHL with 8 assists and 10 points in 4 contests to help lead the Knights to a perfect week and extend the team's win streak to 6 games. Now here's the latest in sports betting. The Brooklyn Nets are now the favorites to win the 2021 NBA championship. Brooklyn was tied as the title favorite with the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers at the Westgate Sportsbook before it added 6-time All-Star forward Blake Griffin on Sunday. The Westgate then made the Nets the plus 250 favorites and the Lakers the plus 275 second choice.
In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway. An upcoming documentary focuses on the impact of COVID on entertainers struggling financially, artistically, and emotionally. The night the lights went out in Vegas is a night many local entertainers will remember. Performers such as Rich Little, The Amazing Jonathan, and about 70 others will be featured. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County. For you Dunkin' fans, the coffee chain is opening 2 new locations on the Strip. One location will be off the Strip facing the side of the Link Hotel, and the second will be next to the Caesars Forum entrance side on the casino level. The grand opening will be held next month. And that's a wrap for today's 7 at 7 p.m. from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm Jen Ah. We know you're busy, so we've built a newscast to fit your lifestyle. Catch us on our website, Apple TV, Alexa, and other streaming devices. Be sure to stay tuned for 7 at 7 a.m. as well. Good night.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.